kettle corn mixed with movie theater butter. Damn, yo, it's the aesthetics. It's the aesthetics mixed with the white cheddar. Oh my god. Mixed with the shake it up couple times. Right. One more time. Hit it with the right, and then hit it with the and then shake it up one more time. I forgot what it tastes like. Hold on. Let's go. Sup? Dope. Wait, am I?
On Prime Crime.
Oh my God. I already got the giggles. Oh shit. On prime time. On prime time. So the title of this is Pregnant Teen Vanishes something. I'm guessing that's a pregnant teen. I don't know. I cannot guess her age. But she's a teenager. And she's pregnant. Jesus. Let's go.
Sawyer, she just disappeared in thin air. It was mass chaos.
When a Florida high school honors student full of promise goes missing.
I'm not a monster. I had nothing to do with her
He got everything to do with her disappearance. He literally said, I don't know if this is so fucking good. This is so good. Maybe because I'm hungry, but you get that kettle corn as the base popcorn. Mix it with the original, butter popcorn. This brand. Mixed with the white cheddar. God, you in heaven. But he not. He going straight to hell. Because I feel like in a clock-ass situation, if you say, I'm not a monster, 9 times out of 10, 10 times out of 10, 11 times out of 10, you're a monster or the monster. This popcorn is so damn good. This might be my go-to. I'm not going to hold you like...
A trail of love and betrayal.
I didn't read any of that. Okay, it happened in 2018. That's kind of recent. Yeah, so I need you to be like 100% with me at all times. I'm just so in love with you. I'll kill you and cry. Who is? Okay, so Iyana, is that the what's her name? Is that the teenage girl? Who is she talking to? Hell no.
A trail of love and betrayal threatens to tear a tight-knit family apart.
Do I think my husband is capable of any of this? No, I don't. But we have a missing piece of the puzzle.
Y'all say y'all like the true crime video.
Hey everybody, I'm Jesse Weber. And
Jesse Weber, you look like that main character, the main guy off of the show Netflix. You kind of look like him. I'm not gonna hold you. Where the basement at? Huh?
welcome to Prime Crime. This is where we break down the most compelling and memorable true crime cases from across the country. When a 16-year-old girl named Iyana
or Iyana? She's 16. How pregnant was she, though? Shit.
Sawyer suddenly vanishes, her family and police chase down every possible lead. This is a very twisted story that proves quite difficult for authorities to crack.
Jacksonville 911, what's the location of your emergency?
The light come on before that, so phone is straight to nothing else. It's not like that.
Okay.
You have no idea what you.
December 19th, 2018 started out a normal day. IS was a 16-year-old high school student, a sophomore, straight A student at Terry Parker High School here in Jacksonville, Florida. She also went to school with her sister, SS, who was a year younger in her 9th grade year.
Because Iyana Sawyer and her sister are minors, investigators sometimes refer to them by their initials, IS and SS, to protect their identities.
Her sister was on the bus and she wasn't. I don't understand why she was on the bus.
Did you ask your sister why?
She said she didn't know, and that's not like the people got together.
When SS calls her mother frantically,
Margie better not be in on it. Club.
stating that IS did not get on the bus, Kimberly Mobley was at work. So she called two of her sisters. One of the sisters called 911 while the other one headed to Terry Parker High School.
Do you think it's foul play?
Ma'am, I have no idea. This is out of character for her.
Okay.
And for me to call you wrong, something's wrong.
Her family went crazy. They called 911. They called everyone. It was mass chaos because she just disappeared in thin air.
So IS, she was the firstborn. She was extremely close to her mom. She was extremely loyal. She loved being with her family. She wanted to be either a doctor or a lawyer. She was into her scholastics, being a straight A student. However, sadly, at the age of 16, she was carrying a big secret. And that secret was she was pregnant.
Iyana is 5 months pregnant.
Bro, she has a baby face. I don't know if that's a filter, but she has a baby face, bro. So to put a baby face on a 16-year-old, you might as well be like 14 or some shit. Jesus, man. And whoever got her pregnant, you're weird. Pedo looking ass. They not like us. I'm sorry.
Though she only recently told her mom, the family supports her, and they've even named her unborn baby Hazel Michelle. All they want is to find Iyana safe and sound.
IS did not attend her last 2 periods of school. Video surveillance showed that she did in fact leave Terry Parker High School at approximately 11 a.m. And we don't know who picked her up because I was outside of camera footage at the time. She has 2 bags. One is full, of course, regular school.
I feel like goddamn colonels. I feel like all schools, or majority of the schools, should not only have cameras on the inside and outside, but like to cover all grounds. You know, there should not be no blind spots. Especially when you're dealing with minors. No blind spots whatsoever. 4K. Recording at all times. Even after hours. 24/7. Yeah.
Items such as textbooks, notebooks. And then another bag has a voluminous amount of Victoria's Secret.
Alright. She doesn't look that pregnant, but granted, this picture quality is grainy as hell. She doesn't look that pregnant. Like, I mean, I'm just saying, like, it's bad that she's pregnant, but it's not like she was like, I can't really tell. But it doesn't look like she's like 8, 9 months pregnant. You know? Because if that was the case, God.
Items, a body pillow. The family is left questioning, where is IS?
consensus between police is that she has left school voluntarily. There was no obvious signs of being forced or anything like that.
Our theory of the case is she either ran away and didn't want to be found, or she ran away because her mom wanted to know who the father of the child was. She didn't want to tell, and that led to friction between the two.
The police, they were just trying to do what they could to find her. They did some basic search around the area. They set up the tip line. The family was doing quite a bit. They were looking for anything.
After 2 days of searching, with no sign of Iyana,
2 days?
police changed her status from a runaway to a missing person.
2 days?
Her mom makes a disturbing discovery.
2 days? Bro, if she got kidnapped, like, if she got forced in the car, driving for 2 days, not straight, because you're going to have to stop for gas or some shit. Either that or you got, like, them gas tank portable things. You know what I'm talking about? Like the little portable gas jugs you pour gas in. Unless you got those, and you got unless you got a lot of those already stacked like in your car. And when you run low on gas, you just pull over, fill it up, and then you go. You don't have to go to a gas station. But if you driving for 2 days, man, ain't no telling where you at. I mean, unless you can track the car.
Her mom is searching through, her room, through her laptop, through her boxes in her closet, anything she could to determine where she may be. She finds this Word document on Iyana's laptop that kind of seems strange.
How do you get to it? Tell me how to get to it.
I went there in the recycle bin right here.
The recycle bin?
And then she also got other notes over here on the side. They asked you for a password. She got some of the notes locked. And she got other stuff that she wrote in here about him too, though.
The fact that Iyana went to such great lengths to keep the documents a secret is as concerning as what she'd written.
It was a couple pages long, and it was a pouring out her heart of this person, Jose.
Jose?
Her love for this person.
Jose, that's a Spanish name. That's a Spanish name. Jose. What you talking about? That look like, I'm not trying to like play a race card, but like, that kind of look, Jose is a Spanish name, and that kind of looked like the guy in the beginning.
The betrayal of this person.
Iyana's mom has never heard her talk about Jose. Could it be a code name for someone? Could she have run away with this person? The diary entries are dated February and March 2018, almost a year before Iyana disappeared. Around that time, Iyana was in a relationship her mom didn't approve of with an adult neighbor when Iyana was just 15.
Adult? Bro. Come on now. Come on with this pedo shit. You gotta be on one, bro. You gotta be on 1,000 to mess with somebody's daughter that's 15 next door to you. Oh my God. You don't care about shit. Let me find out. One of our future kids, a minor, messing with an adult. Man.
The next door neighbor, he lived across the street from Iyana. He had had a sexual relationship with Iyana.
I don't like. I'm gonna start doing this when it's just like, I don't know what else to say. Like,
His name was Kamar Humphrey. I mean, the person that was accused of sexually assaulting her, 9 months earlier, is very much someone who I would be looking into very deeply when she goes missing.
At 15?
Authorities have legitimate cause for concern about Humphrey In March 2018, at Iyana's mom's insistence, they'd obtained a DNA swab from him for a rape kit. He admitted to having sex with Iyana at least once, and the DNA confirmed it.
Under Florida law, he was listed as a sexual offender because he was over the age of 18 and she was under the age of 16.
The time period that the rape kit was done, that we can confirm there was a sexual relationship, is outside of the time period that she would have conceived. But we have always asked, did that relationship continue on? And we know it went on for months just based on the conversation.
I mean, she not innocent either. She 15. Both parties know what's going on. But it just makes it worse because he's over the age of 18. He looks. I can never tell people's ages. I mean, he's over 18, but he probably under 50.
That she had with friends. He's a viable suspect for the father of her child.
Police asked Humphrey where he was the day Iyana went missing. When he shows proof he was out of town, investigators have to rule him out. But if he's not Jose, who is? That's when a new name comes into the mix. Jonathan Quilez.
She confronts Iyana's sister, and Iyana's sister is the one who says, oh, that's Jose is Uncle John. So Iyana was John's niece by marriage. He was Uncle John to Iyana and to the other siblings.
Always the damn uncles. Why? Why is it always the goddamn uncles?
Well, they were very close. His wife and him both took care of the kids on a regular basis. They would spend time at their house. John, really charismatic guy. He's very likable. He was a mechanic. He was a handyman. He had a good family life, was working, doing well, married, had a kid, another one on the way at the time.
Iyana's mom knows.
Yeah. But at the same time, you can be the most perfect, you can be the most goodest person, great person on this planet. But at the same time, you can be hiding something real dark. You can be hiding something real clucked. Look at that smile. Hell no.
The two are very close. But if Uncle John, aka Jonathan Quilez, is the Jose in Iyana's diary, did things go too far? Her mom is determined to get to the bottom of whatever is going on. She calls police, and they head over to his house.
Hey, John, what's going on?
This is crazy. All this just got dropped on me. Like,
both of us. I was just trying to get a damn guy to sign a lease over there, and I'm coming back, I see patrol cars in my dang house.
He arrived while they were there. He was calm, cool, and collective. I'm here to help.
We literally had their kids, her kids, for summers. You know, summer at a time, and then, you know,
Doing God knows what behind closed doors.
weekends, like, all of them. If we knew where she was at, we would have been the first ones to grab her ass and bring her over.
Yeah, exactly. We're
It's
posting
just-
stuff on
it's
our
just
Facebook
don't-
trying to find her the same way they are.
He did not know anything. He didn't have any involvement. Even his wife, was defending him and that he would never do anything to harm IS.
So I'm gonna tell you, with regards to this shit, do I think my husband is capable of any of this? No, I don't. But I mean, I don't. We have a missing piece of the puzzle.
Police tell the couple they have a warrant to search.
She don't sound too sure of her husband.
House.
You got free reign.
I'll hang out here with everyone in the
Okay, that's
and then we'll take it, we'll go from there. So you guys hang tight for me?
Yeah, it's not a problem.
Naomi and John say, hey, search our house, do what you need to do, look through, because she's not here. We have nothing to do with it.
Get all the rooms? Yeah. Okay, so backyard. Yeah, let's look in the back. We live in the backyard? That's right. Sure.
Even one of the officers found it kind of funny because Jonathan's sitting there, he's like, hey, come on in, whatever you guys need. You want something to eat, you want something to drink, and he's inviting him in like he's one of the family.
But Quilez and his wife do admit that Iyana's mom voiced her concerns about Quilez's contact with her daughter since she found the document on her laptop.
Once that all happened, we got blocked completely from having any communication.
But then the girl said, well, we can't speak with you now because we blocked. Mama said to block you, so we gotta wait until this passes over. So, I mean, the same, but it's not uncommon.
Yeah, this has happened before, and then they come and they'll stay, a week. We got weekends over here at the house.
It seems like the relationship was a little more complicated than anyone initially thought. Then, the couple makes another statement that seems...
Bro, I thought that was her. I thought that was the girl. Jesus.
Catch officers by surprise.
So while talking about, well, do you know any items that are missing of IS's? Well, the wife had stated when she left, she took a lot of her Victoria's Secret undergarments.
Jonathan Quilez is even more specific.
Oh yeah, her 38 pair, indicating that she had taken 38 pairs of Victoria's Secret undergarments with her. How someone in a family relationship would know that is obviously very odd.
As cooperative as Quilez has been, officers sense something is off.
She said that she knows who the father was, but she didn't say.
Oh, she did know?
Yeah, she knows who the father of the child was. But then you can't really take anything that she's saying serious because now that she's been gone, I question literally everything.
Police there wanting to talk to John about, had you had a sexual relationship with Iyana? And so it was just, they were investigating him, at least trying to find out.
When we return, police decide to bring Jonathan Quilez in for more questioning.
They're making some allegations, and we gotta, do a thorough investigation, okay?
Okay.
So we're gonna take you to get interviewed by detective, okay? Okay. And just tell them your side, and that's it, all right?
Alright.
I still need to just go here real quick.
Why you gotta cuff him up, though?
When Quilez was brought in for questioning, he acted like you would expect. He denied everything, said he didn't know anything, and he lamented the fact that his niece was missing.
I'm not gonna lie. The little orange right there, like the what's the names? The little orange sleeves. Is that foreshadowing that he gonna be locked the hell up with the orange jumpsuit?
December 27th, 2018, about a week after 16-year-old Iyana Sawyer, or IS, disappeared. It's especially concerning because she's pregnant. Police have brought in her uncle, Jonathan Quilez, for an interview. They press him about the diary his niece wrote that indicates the two had sexual relations. He denies any inappropriate contact and has even provided his DNA to police.
You guys took my DNA
Right.
from the house, so I don't have nothing to hide. You are looking at the wrong person. I have nothing to do with that girl disappearing whatsoever.
They don't arrest him that day. They detain him, they talk to him, but then they release him.
However, Quilez has raised enough suspicions that a few days later, police turn the investigation over to homicide detective Abbott, who immediately processes the DNA Quilez provided.
It was submitted to the Florida Department of Law Enforcement here, and a rush was put onto it because what we had learned was that a sexual assault kit involving IS had been submitted back in March of 2018, and there was unknown DNA.
The results showed DNA from neighbor Kamar Humphrey, which was expected since he and Iyana had had a relationship, but the unknown DNA was additional. Could it be her Uncle John's?
Well, on January 7th, 2019, a shock came. Jonathan Quilez' DNA was on IS's panties.
My mind is going crazy right now, but I'm not trying to get no strike. I could say, now he was getting one off on the earnings. In the beginning, he said, "I'm not a monster." How you gonna say that in a cluck ass situation? Now we gotta bring the wife into this. Lock her up, bring her in too. All of them.
Complete, utter shock. It only heightened that Jonathan Quilles was definitely a person of interest. Then a bombshell hit. A phone call comes in to the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office. That individual identified himself as Joseph Quilles, Jonathan Quilles' brother. And oh boy, did he have a story to tell. Jonathan Quilles had called his brother. He stated it was either December 19th, 2018 or December 20th, 2018, that his brother was frantic, stating that this girl might be pregnant, it might be mine, and I have to get rid of the body. Joseph Quilles then stated his brother hung up the phone. However, sometime later, he called back, calmer, not upset, not nervous, said he had taken care of it.
Oh no.
Joseph asks his brother to explain. Quilles reportedly gets surprisingly specific.
Jonathan Quilles tells his brother that he lured her to his work in an area where no video surveillance, no other workers, it's loud.
We're gonna run it back a little bit. I had a timer and I forgot I set the timer, and so it went off and it just clucked up my whole productions. We good though.
Where no video surveillance, no other workers, it's loud, and he went to strangle her, but he couldn't stomach it, so he shot her.
Oh my God.
He then put her body in a dumpster, and then it's done. He now can move on, and his life won't be ruined.
I don't know about that because there's a lot more video left. I feel like she's still alive. I don't know.
His brother was like, I don't believe my brother did this,
Oh, okay.
but it made me feel very uneasy that if I didn't call and report it and something had happened, that it would haunt him.
Armed with this shocking new information, Detective Abbott and a colleague from Special Assault bring Quilles back in for another interview.
How are you?
I've had better days.
I know, right?
Yeah.
There's been a lot happened. We need to talk about it, okay?
At this time, Detective Billy Abbott has spoken to Joseph Quilles, and now he is looking at this closer to a homicide investigation.
The girls would come over to your house and you do like trips to the beach.
Yeah,
trips to the
we always
pool.
when Super Bowl, the pool we had at the house.
They would stay the night. They'd spend
Yeah,
time
they'll
at your
spend-
house, and there
I feel like he talking too much. I feel like he need to shut the hell up. I feel like he need to shut the hell up. He giving out too many details. He a detailed person. That's
Whole summer.
So you're doing all these things with the girls,
No, with all of them.
right? With the kids.
All of the kids.
But-
Yeah.
you doing the girls. Sorry, out of context, but not really. So it would just be him with all them girls.
But then they're accusing you of messing with the girls.
Correct. Yeah, and this is they came out with that. They started like real heavy with it when with that boy across the street and doing all that. That's when it started like really thick.
Jonathan Quilles was trying to do anything and everything to show how it was not him, that it could be this other individual, or she might have had another boyfriend in her life.
So now is missing. She ran away or whatnot. Now here I am sitting in the hot seat because is mentioning me as that I was, I'm Mr. Jose.
Okay.
So.
Do you know who she ran away with?
I don't. I've been expecting call me, text me, anything. Snapchat me, smoke signal.
Quillis,
Snapchat? You old as hell. Why you got Snapchat? Hell no. Who the hell still uses Snapchat, to be honest?
himself as the victim himself. He's being unfairly tarnished by this belief he had an inappropriate relationship with his niece.
So if I were to tell you that I found some underwear that had your DNA in it, how would you explain that?
I would say that's no way in shape in any form. Yeah, there's no way.
So with the case across the street.
What you getting adjusted for? What you getting adjusted for? Time out.
There was a kit done.
Correct.
And she was wearing specific clothes to include underwear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she told me that was one of the biggest pet peeves that they took underwear from her.
Okay. So that's what he's talking
That's
about.
what I was referring to.
That wasn't my DNA. That I didn't.
100%.
No way.
It's DNA.
It's
I'm not
DNA.
saying you're a monster. I don't think you're a monster at all. Okay? I think maybe they came on to you and things went a little too far. It happens all the time.
What exactly are they accusing me of? What exactly are they saying I did? Okay, well, now they're making suggestions that I'm having a sexual relationship or that I had something to do with her going missing, and I absolutely did not.
Look at her face.
I could look at her face.
They need closure.
I'm not a monster. I had nothing to do with her disappearance. I had nothing to do with her disappearance at all.
So the whole family's off. Is a liar. Your brother who loves you is just crazy. Right? Everyone's just circling Jonathan.
The last I spoke with my brother, he was all bent out of shape. And I'm like, hold on, bro. You got this all twisted. I didn't do nothing. I have no idea what the hell happened with this young lady, any of that. So
How did you have all those details?
I don't know how he had all those details. I'm sorry. I don't know how he had any of those.
Now, you don't have details. Oh, okay. Cal.
And he said he didn't believe you at first. He thought you were kidding. But it was so detailed.
No. I'm sorry. Nope.
He really is just kind of like, you know what, there's nothing I can do at this point. You've already made up your minds. You haven't looked anywhere else. I'm not the person, but you're convinced that I am.
So, Jonathan, is there anything else you'd like to say?
That's all I like to say.
Okay. Then at this point, I'm going to place you under arrest for sexual battery. It's a first-degree felony. You'll stand up and turn around and face the wall. Place your hands behind your back.
Now, Jonathan Quillis is the #1 suspect in the disappearance of IS and now the murder of IS and her unborn child.
Police seem to believe Jonathan Quillis is involved, but they still don't know exactly what happened to Iyana. Coming up, a new development.
So after the interview, Detective Abbott decided that he was going to do some more investigation, and that was through a wire.
You did good by getting rid of the body and all that.
I keep talking about, I don't know what you're talking about. Wire ass nigga.
Hey everybody, we're gonna get you right back to the Quillis case in just a minute.
Oh, that's him. Okay, I reacted to one of their videos a long time ago. I don't know, for the life of me, I don't know when it was. I don't know. Okay. It might have been talking about the Epstein's list. Because seeing him in this background looks very familiar. And I don't know, alright, yeah, okay. That's crazy how a background can just change everything.
You got a prayer, bro? Huh? You got a prayer? I haven't stopped praying. I was praying the whole time. You have to forgive me? I
Jonathan Quilles is being held at the Duval County Jail on charges of sexual battery in connection with the disappearance of his niece, Iyana Sawyer, or IS. When police interviewed Quilles, he denied any wrongdoing, but Detective Abbott has gathered some powerful evidence against him, including DNA and a confession Quilles apparently made to his own brother. Now, Abbott decides to see what else he can gather, this time from inside the jail.
Detective Abbott, through his partners and his homicide team, they were able to get into contact with some other inmates. One of the inmates then was wired up, and through the instructions that Detective Abbott and his homicide team had given this inmate was, see what Jonathan Quilles will tell you.
Just 2 days later.
Okay, but first of all, thank you for thinking of me about getting some information on somebody. But I'm going to need some time off my sentence. Can you do that for me? Because I'm in here for life. So if you can just knock off like about 5 years, that'd be great.
The detective's plan seems to pay off.
You did good by doing it, getting rid of the body and all that. Why they want to finish? Because my brother. So why did you kill her? If you didn't think she was going to jail, or you just felt like it was going to hit the fan and lay on?
No, just 16 months that she came out that she was pregnant. There's a possibility that was mine.
When Jonathan starts talking, he doesn't know how to stop, and he just keeps going. His biggest flaw is he's a chatterbox.
When you saw that, wherever
It was over at the job, loud.
or you shot at the job and left it overnight. This girl would have jumped out screaming anything. So what about you?
The camera system. It's like everything is blurry, nothing is focused. And that's the thing, the cameras do work to be suspect. And Ace part, there's so many spots you can throw over the gate.
I guess by you killing her, you did the right thing, because you probably be in the worst situation that she was living.
The challenge with jailhouse snitches is that you could have some doubts, well, he's just bragging in prison because he wants to have some street cred there. But his words are his words. And when you compare that to his own brother's comments and Miss Sawyer's younger sister's words that Jose was Jonathan, now the evidence is really starting to pile up.
After Detective Abbott reviews this audio recording, the determination was, I gotta get to Ace Pickle part. Gotta make sure that we get that video surveillance.
Ace Pick-Apart, You Pull It, is the auto salvage yard where Jonathan Quilles works. Video surveillance from December 19th, the day Iyana disappeared, could answer a lot of questions and confirm or deny Quilles' statements.
Surveillance videos showed that Mr. Quilles left his work around the time when the niece went missing from school. So he could have left from work to go pick up Miss Sawyer, but there's no clear-cut evidence of that because he had an alternate explanation. He was leaving for work purposes. It was his lunch break. And there is no specific video that shows Mr. Quilles with Miss Sawyer around that time.
Jonathan said that he was asked to go up to Fastenal, up near the airport, to pick up some parts. If he went and picked up IS, how could he be all the way up near the airport, which is over 30 minutes away? He can't be over at Terry Parker High School picking her up.
However, authorities allege that Quilles drove to an area of the yard that had no cameras and was off limits to most employees, where he purportedly shot Iyana. Investigators pieced together what happened next from the wiretap recording.
Got shot. Never in the way.
Police end up finding his signature on the
You're a dumbass. You're a dumbass. Unless this is all part of his plan, but I don't know.
Sheet at the range and the gun in his closet.
He went to the gun range and shot the gun. The only thing I can think of about that statement is maybe he thought some forensic evidence could show that the gun had been recently shot.
If that was Quilles's plan, it seems like it worked.
There's no blood evidence, there's no DNA, there's nothing on your gun. And it's alleged that he shot her at close range, like in the heart even.
God,
the physical
damn.
evidence didn't line up with what we were expecting to see.
Investigators check every vehicle in the yard and find no trace of Iyana.
So what police had was a theory that he shot Miss Sawyer and then dumped her body in a dumpster that was quickly removed. But there was a lack of physical evidence here.
Based on what Quilles has said, Detective Abbott follows up on the dumpster.
Detective Abbott learns on December 20th, 2018, All American Garbage picks up the container. It went to Otis Road landfill. So Detective Abbott...
That probably stinks like a motherfucker. What do they do with that pile of trash? Do they burn it? Don't tell me they just pile it up and not do nothing with it. Like, they gotta do something with it, right? That gotta be harmful as hell to just leave that shit right there. Like, it gotta be harmful to the ozone layer, to the air that we breathe. Like, hell no. So I'm at this point in the video where I just want to know why. Why?
Makes contact with the Otis Road landfill.
The sheriff's office spent over $1.5 million over 3 weeks to go through and excavate this landfill. It was almost 80 feet deep. The tons and tons of trash that was moved, even by their own account, was monumental in nature. And they found nothing over a 3-week period of time.
They couldn't find anything.
Hey, I would have one of them workers that been like doing, just like going through all that trash for this a long ass time going through. I've been like, we did all this shit for nothing? Bet.
Directly tied Mr. Quilles to Miss Sawyer's disappearance. They found some articles of clothing that they thought were Miss Sawyer's, but the sizes were a little different. It was some Victoria's Secret clothing, and it could have been her clothing, especially as she was carrying a baby, but it's not 100% clear to law enforcement that they've got the goods.
With no physical evidence, the question is whether the evidence investigators do have is enough to indict Jonathan Quilles in the murder of his niece and her unborn child.
You have Miss Sawyer's younger sister saying that Mr. Quilles was Jose. You also have Mr. Quilles' own brother saying that Quilles confessed to him. And you also have wiretaps now.
On July 18th, 2019, about 6 months after Iyana Sawyer disappeared, investigators send Jonathan Quilles' case to a grand jury.
And thinking about, well, what kind of charges are we going to do? Well, ultimately, it was decided that we were going to do first-degree murder. And the reasons why we were going to do those particular charges, and also in the state of Florida, we can do that for an unborn child. So we knew there was going to be 2 counts for that.
The list of evidence the detectives present pays off.
We met with the grand jury today on your case, as well as several others, and you are being indicted on first-degree murder. The 3rd count is going to be sexual battery. Okay? We need to advise you of that.
Okay.
All right. We would like to talk to you if you're willing to speak with us.
I have an attorney that's representing me. She doesn't want me to talk to
Okay.
without her being present.
Considering the charges that he was facing, he had good spirits. He was pretty confident in how he spoke and very clear, concise. We talked about a lot of the alternative explanations or alternative options, alternative suspects.
After the grand jury indictment, Jonathan Quilles' case doesn't go to trial for another 4 years.
Damn!
Yet with no significant additional evidence turning up, does the state have enough to convict?
We didn't have
Yes.
IS in her unborn child. In a normal case, we know where someone's murdered. There's blood, there's fingerprints, there's a bullet, there's a spent shell casing, and it's readily identifiable. This is where the person was killed. There was going to potentially be some doubt.
Hey everybody, we're going to get you right back to the Jonathan Quiles case in just a second. But look, I know that we cover some very difficult stories here on Prime Crime. The world's scary. I don't have another way of saying it. It just really is. And it is hard to be prepared for what happens. Having said that, there is one thing you can do. Be prepared if you get hurt. That brings me to Morgan & Morgan, the largest injury law firm in America.
He got two promos. He getting paid. I usually ever see somebody only promoting one company, one brand. That's two.
A proud sponsor. Look, if you should get injured, it is so vital that you understand your legal rights and whether you're entitled to be compensated, because that injury could be worth millions of dollars. Morgan & Morgan is a firm that's not afraid to take on big insurance companies that sometimes lowball offers. No, Morgan & Morgan will take a case to trial if it's necessary. And you know what? They win big. Verdicts of $12 million in Florida, $6.8 million in New York, $26 million in Philadelphia.
Where was they at? Where was the billboards? Because now it's hella billboards of Morgan & Morgan. But back like a few years ago, I was working at Chipotle, and I don't know if I told this story before, but I was working at Chipotle, and it was like the Chipotle that I worked at was so bootleg. They got their shit together now, but like when I was there, it was just so messed up. Like shit wasn't working right. Shit was just breaking off. Like it was just bad. And so a walk-in is just like a big ass refrigerator, right? So I'm walking in the walk-in one day. It was in the morning time, and it's small. And so when you walk in, like it's like a little tunnel or whatever that you walk in. And so when you walk in, there are shelves on the right side of you and on the left side of you. Two people can barely fit side by side. And then on the back of the wall is like another shelf. So I'm walking in, and the left side of the shelf was already leaning bad as hell. And I told my manager, I was like, y'all should get that fixed. If y'all don't, y'all should do something about that. If y'all don't, it's going to fall on somebody. Bro, like 5 minutes later, I went back in to walk in. That whole left side of me, I don't know if it's going to show up on camera because it was so long ago. But the whole left side of the shelf fell on me. And it left a big ass scar. And I was bleeding like a mother cluck. And I was still working. I could have just went to Morgan & Morgan. I could have made bank. But I don't know if y'all can see it though. Let me see. It fell on my back. Let me see. It probably cleared up. I can't really. Let me see. I'll probably pause it if y'all can't see it. You see it? I don't know. But damn, it was man. I was so mad because it fell on me.
All of these, by the way, significantly higher than the highest insurance offers. And since Morgan & Morgan is so client-focused, they want to make the process as easy for you as possible. They've completely modernized it, so it's all done from your smartphone, from submitting your claim to signing documents, to uploading materials, to talking to your whole legal team. Seeing if you have a case only takes a few minutes. So if you're injured, you can start by easily submitting a claim at www.forthepeople.com/crimecrime or by dialing #law, that's #529 on your phone. All right, let's get you back to the Quiles case.
You swear to affirm the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Cap.
So you're charged with an indictment. Count 1 is murder in the first degree, count 2 is murder in the first degree, count 3 is
Why are there so many Kleenexes right there? And Pine Sol, Lysol. What's that? Oh yeah, it is Lysol. Is that for like the people that sit up there next to the judge? And like they just wipe it down and spray it off? And wipe it clean? Because why are there two big ass buckets of Kleenex? I know that's Kleenex.
Jonathan Quilles' trial begins on September 14th, 2023 in Jacksonville, Florida's Duval County Courthouse. He pleads not guilty to all 3 counts against him in the murder and sexual battery of his pregnant niece, Iyana Sawyer, whose body has never been found, and her unborn child.
If you're found guilty of any one of those charges, there is the possibility that you spend the rest of your natural born life in prison. Do you understand that? I do.
And the death penalty is also on the table.
Oh, God.
The girl might be pregnant. I can't lose my family if she has the baby. I have to get rid of the body. She was 16. Did you shoot her? Did you shoot her in the head? Heart.
Once they heard everything, that puzzle was built, that picture was painted, that they would know beyond every reasonable doubt that the defendant, Jonathan Quilles, killed his family member because he could not let the world know that he fathered an underage juvenile child.
The defense responds, telling the jury, not so fast.
They have to prove that Mr. Quilles is the one that committed this crime. There will be no direct evidence to say that he did. You will not hear it.
Where them glasses come from? I just realized. Who are you trying to fool?
Investigating and looking through the evidence that the state had gathered, the glaring issue again and again was the lack of physical evidence that they had.
There will be no DNA to say he's the father. They will not be able to prove that Jonathan Quilles is in fact the father of the unborn child. They don't have a body. Therefore, we believe they cannot meet their burden of premeditated murder. And therefore, we believe there will be reasonable doubt.
So I got a question. If he's innocent, to go through all of this, all the interrogation, all the handcuffs, all of this, if he's innocent, is he just set free? Like, he's just walking among us, everybody. He just set free. Like, he just didn't go to court. He just didn't go through all that. I wonder that. I wonder if you have to put that on your resume, like a job, if you applying for like a job application or whatever.
The biggest challenge for prosecutors is that we're living in a time when people expect to see DNA, direct evidence via video, and if you don't have a body, you don't have a murder weapon, and your case is largely circumstantial, it's tough to convince juries that you should send this person to jail for life or even the death penalty.
The state of Florida is banking on a strong slate of witnesses, along with purported admissions of guilt made by Jonathan Quilles himself to his brother. And
that thick ass binder. What the hell is in that binder? Look at that. Move. Look at this shit. That shit looks like a Harry Potter book. What the hell is in that shit? That's insane. Ain't no way you need all them papers.
Himself to his brother and jailhouse informants. Naomi Mobley, Iyana's aunt and Jonathan Quilles' now ex-wife, at whose home Iyana spent so much time, testifies. She says she was initially defensive when her sister said Jonathan was behaving inappropriately with their niece, but when her sister showed her Snapchats between the two, she changed her tune.
God.
What, if anything, did you do thereafter?
I told him at that time that he needed to stop speaking with my nieces and he needs to give my family space. I said that it looks really bad and he needs to distance himself.
Did you learn thereafter whether or not he stopped speaking in or communicating?
I learned after that he did in fact continue speaking with them.
looking at it states 64.
These are the messages from Snapchat.
The Snapchats from Jonathan Quilles in the months leading up to Iyana's disappearance were sometimes sexually explicit and even seemingly threatening.
9/4/2018, 9/27. I'm very aggravated right now. I'm going to hit you later. 9/7/2018, 12/21. Yeah, so I need you to be like 100% with me at all times.
Is he responding to this, or she's just going on and on and on?
I'm just so in love with you. I'll kill you and cry.
There was a change in his behavior after she went missing. Prior to that, he was fidgety and nervous. He was restless. After she went missing, then he slept like a baby.
Quilles' brother Joseph also gives emotional testimony about his conversations with Jonathan. As evidenced by their phone records, they talked 4 times between December 18th and 20th, 2018, the time period of Iyana's disappearance. Joseph could tell his brother wasn't acting like himself.
His demeanor was a little off. It was kind of like he was nervous or a little panicky about something.
Have you heard your brother sound panicky to you on previous occasions?
No, he was more concerned about what is he going to do with the young lady in question. That she might be pregnant, and what is he going to do? He doesn't want to ruin his family and mess up what he has already going on.
In their last conversation, Jonathan Quilles seemingly finally came clean about what exactly he did on December 19th.
Come on with it!
He picked up Iyana from school, telling her they would run away and be together.
Yeah, I was sitting in a vehicle.
At 15?
Waiting, he tried to strangle her. It didn't work out. He couldn't stomach it. And so then he later shot her in the chest. And then he proceeded to discard the body by transporting it into a dumpster and destroying the vehicle.
Now, Mr. Quilles, were you surprised by what he told you?
Absolutely.
On December 20th, Joseph wrote his brother a heartfelt text, which the prosecutor reads in court.
I can't talk to you right now. I have to stay firm on my decision. What you told me isn't some joke or something you like about. So yes, I told the police because they needed to know. I'm sorry I have to do the right thing for that girl and her family, not the right thing for you and your selfishness. I hate to lose you, but I'd rather that the girl's family have some peace. If you're innocent, then you don't need to worry, and they won't find her body. But if you're not, they're going to find her. And in that case, I already lost my brother.
Prosecutors argue Jonathan Quilles had also told his story to jailhouse informants, including an inmate who, ironically, Quilles met in a Bible study group.
What? Tell this jury what he said to you.
So, he pulled his gun out and shot him.
What, if anything, did he tell you with what he did with her once he shot her?
Once he shot her, he threw her body in the dumpster.
You shot her, how you killed her? You don't mind me asking, I'm just blunt. Yeah, I know. I know you don't really want to talk about it. It's all going to be able to get rid of the body.
See, I dumped garbage over at the landfill. It would be buried under like 3 feet of garbage.
When the inmate had testified and we played that wire, we no longer had to say, this is what Jonathan Quilles said. Believe the state of Florida. It was listen to him himself.
You could watch the jurors' reaction of Jonathan on that wire and what he said and how he said it. You could literally watch the jurors change the entire demeanor of how they felt about the case. 8 out of the 12 jurors, almost in unison, turned their heads, looked right at us, and you could just read the look on their faces like, you're done.
Leave the jury to find that they were guilty of first-degree murder as charged in the indictment. Verdict count 2. Leave the jury to find that they were guilty of first-degree murder as charged in the indictment. Verdict count 3. Leave the jury to find that they were guilty of engaging in an
he hadn't started talking, if he hadn't done that, there was more than enough reasonable doubt if his own words hadn't walked them through it for the state.
After almost 5 years of living and breathing IS's case, getting to know IS, seeing IS's picture every day in my office, the best words ever were heard: guilty.
Jesus Christ.
As the case reaches the penalty phase, the question the jury will deliberate next is whether Jonathan Quilles should be sentenced to life in prison or death.
Jonathan Quilles is now a 2-time convicted murderer. Each of you know the horrendous facts that occurred in this case. Each of you did justice when you convicted the defendant beyond a reasonable doubt of premeditated murder.
I want to say life in prison instead of just taking the easy way out. Please.
Of IS and the premeditated murder of IS's unborn child. And we'll ask you all to render a vote of death.
State of Florida did hope that they would come back and recommend death. That's why we sought it to begin with, given the totality of the evidence in this case.
The defense had hoped for a different outcome.
We're asking you to save his life. Does he deserve it? You probably don't think so. But is there something there worth saving?
No.
Is there something there that would make you all come back and say life without the possibility of parole is appropriate? We were able to put on witnesses, his family, a psychologist that evaluated him, to humanize him, really, at the end of the day, to make it so that you can understand that this is a life worth saving.
The jury is decisive once again.
We, the jury, find Jonathan Quilles should be sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole.
Okay. Wait, what?
Disappointing.
What? Without or with? Hold on.
Worth saving?
The jury is decisive once again.
We, the jury, find Jonathan Quilles should be sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole.
It was disappointing. However, we respect the process of our system, and ultimately we were just beyond ecstatic that they had found guilty verdicts.
When they came back for life, I just, that was the biggest sigh of relief. I really felt like at that point, that was the best thing that we could do for him as his attorneys, was to save his life. That was a huge win for us.
Ultimately, our judge did 3 consecutive life sentences. So, State of Florida, on behalf of IS, her unborn child, and the family, felt that justice had been served, the truth had been sought, and it had been seen and shown.
Wearing a t-shirt bearing the name.
You smile like a motherfucker. Just bring those cheeks down a little bit.
Of Iyana's unborn daughter, Hazel, her mom reflects on her loss.
Iyana was full of life and wanted to do so many things. She wanted to be
I just realized we never seen her mom. Did her mom ever show her face? Or she wouldn't? No.
pediatrician. I thought about being a lawyer. To my mom, she was going to be a lawyer because she could talk her way out of almost anything. She was everything you could ask for in a daughter. We were so close. She was my first love.
It was a case that was beyond different than anything I had experienced as a prosecutor. You get to know IS through her death. You get to know her unborn child. You get to know her family. She is a part of me.
I would never hear her say, I love you. I would never receive another FaceTime from her while I'm at work. I thank God for the 16 years
Oh, that's her
I was
mother.
able to stand for her. Until we meet again, I love you forever.
Yes, the jury found the right person accountable. However, IS is forever gone. Not only just forever gone, she's forever 16.
Jesus Christ.
Every murder is a tragedy. But there's something especially heinous and cruel about the taking of a young life. And that is underscored by the fact that Iyana and her unborn daughter were murdered by a trusted member of their own family, denying them both promising futures. That's all we have for you here on this episode of Prime Crime, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Jesse Weber, and until next time, stay safe.
First, I want to say, hopefully I can put this video up and there's no copyrighted content or anything like that. Second, you got to watch everybody. If you didn't know already, you got to watch everybody. Everybody. Maybe some, maybe you need to watch some people more than others. And sometimes you just have to watch people from a distance. Because even anybody can do something. Anybody can do something weird. Anybody can do something sus. Family or not. Even the parents or guardian angels. Y'all just have to watch out for the red flags. Watch out for the signs. And just, proceed with caution. If you notice one of your friends or family members, it's not even just, that's just in general. Like, if there's a coworker, or, it's just, if you notice somebody is just spending a little bit, like a lot of time with a minor, or anybody, but like specifically a minor, just watch them. Either from a distance or up close. Or check in on them. Like, if there's another true life crime you want me to check out, let me know that in the comment section below. But as always, keep it cool, keep it classy, and I love you. Stay happy, my family.